For 99% of human history, if 100 people knew your name, you were a chief, a healer, or a legend. You were known deeply. Your face was recognized by the only people who mattered to your survival. If you fell ill, they fed you. If you were sad, they sat with you. Your existence was validated not by a metric, but by the warmth of a shared fire. Today, you can have 100,000 people know your name and still eat dinner alone in a dark room, wondering why you feel so invisible. We live in a world obsessed with scale. We've been convinced that to be happy, we must be known. We chase followers, like our ancestors chased game, hoping that if we gather enough of them, we will finally feel secure. But popularity is the ultimate modern bait and switch. It is a system that promises connection but delivers isolation. It trades your genuine, quiet humanity for a public-facing commodity. And the worst part? We are paying for this transaction with our peace. Our brains were never designed for this. For millions of years, the human heart evolved to beat in rhythm with a tribe. Anthropologists call it Dunbar's number, the idea that we can only maintain stable, meaningful relationships with about 150 people. That was our boundary. That was our safety net. In a tribe of 150, you didn't need to perform. You didn't need an aesthetic. You didn't need to package your worst days into relatable content or curate your best days to spark envy. They knew your flaws. They knew your quiet moments. You were already enough, simply because you existed and contributed to the circle. But then, the world grew. We built towns, then cities, then global digital networks. Suddenly, the local circle wasn't enough. We were thrown into a coliseum of billions, told to compete for the scarcest resource on Earth, attention. Now, your worth is tied to a number on a screen. You wake up and check a dashboard of metrics to decide how to feel about yourself. You post a photo of a sunset, not to remember the warmth of the light on your face, but to see how many strangers agreed that it was beautiful. We traded the comfort of being understood by a few for the empty high of being looked at by many. When you try to feed a global crowd, something subtle and dangerous happens. You stop being a person and you start becoming a product. Think about it. A product has to be consistent. A product has to have a brand, a niche, a predictable tone of voice. A product cannot have a bad day without explaining it. A product cannot change its mind overnight without losing its market share. So, you begin to edit yourself. You shave off your weird edges. You silence your complicated thoughts because they don't fit the algorithm's appetite. You present a polished, flattened version of your soul to the world, hoping it's digestible enough to be liked. But when people love the caricature you've built, it doesn't heal your loneliness. It deepens it. Because deep down, you know they don't love you. They love the performance. They love the avatar. Your ancestors didn't have avatars. They had faces. They had dirt under their fingernails and cracks in their voices. They didn't have to maintain a reputation across 5 different platforms just to prove they were alive. They woke up, walked outside, and the trees didn't ask for their credentials. The sky didn't require them to be inspiring. They were allowed to just be. The system we built doesn't want you to be at peace. Peace is quiet. Peace doesn't generate ad revenue. Peace doesn't scroll at 2 a.m. To keep you hooked, the platforms must keep you insecure. They must convince you that you are always one viral post, one trend, or one aesthetic shift away from finally being loved. So we chase the illusion. We trade our real, physical hours for digital crumbs. We spend our weekends staging photos instead of living them. We go to beautiful places, not to feel small under the mountains, but to feel big on someone else's feed. And what do we get in return? Anxiety. The constant, low-humming dread of being forgotten. Because in the digital coliseum, popularity is a lease, not a purchase. You have to keep paying rent. You have to keep feeding the machine, day after day, post after post, or the algorithm will bury you and move on to the next eager soul. It is a hamster wheel, dressed up as a throne. We have traded our freedom for a digital spotlight, forgetting that a spotlight is just a flashlight that won't let you sleep. What if the greatest luxury of the modern age is actually being forgotten? What if the ultimate status symbol is having a life so rich, so deeply felt, that you have absolutely no desire to broadcast it? Imagine waking up and knowing that your day belongs entirely to you. No metrics to check, no comments to moderate, no public opinion to navigate, just the raw, unedited experience of being alive. Your ancestors lived in the quiet margins of history. They didn't leave behind millions of followers, but they left behind a legacy of survival. Art made for the joy of creation, and stories whispered around fires that died out thousands of years ago. They didn't need to be famous to matter. They knew that a life lived quietly, in service of those you love and the dirt beneath your feet, is a complete life. It needs no footnotes. It needs no validation from a crowd of strangers who will forget you the moment they swipe up. So, how do we break the spell? We start by shrinking our world. We stop asking the world to look at us, and we start looking at the world. Put down the camera. Let the sunset happen without archiving it. Let your thoughts belong to you, and you alone. For a little while, reclaim the tribe. Invest in the people who actually know how you take your coffee, who know what your silence means, who don't need you to be anything other than exactly who you are. You don't need to become successful by standards a broken society invented. You are already here. You are already enough. The greatest rebellion in an age of forced popularity is to be completely, unapologetically, and quietly content.